All right, cool. All right, so yeah, I'm just gonna ask you some questions, and if you can't remember it, no biggie. But it's basically just a interview to ask the questions that we never ask in normal life. You know what I mean? So the first one is about your childhood. What's your earliest memories?
My earliest memory?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Well, I was up in Canaan, Maine. I was born in Canaan, and we lived there until we came down to Bath, and Dad started working in the ironworks, Bath Ironworks.
Oh, he worked at Bath Ironworks?
Yeah, he worked there for quite a while.
Oh, okay.
He was a stage builder. Yeah.
How old do you think you were?
Pardon?
How old?
That he was?
No, you were.
Oh, Lord. I was probably 8.
Okay, so you remember moving to Bath?
Oh,
around
yeah.
8.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't know you worked for Bath Ironworks.
Yeah. And in fact, I worked there for a while.
You did?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Oh, I tell you, he was a stage builder.
Yeah.
So they asked me to go up on the stage to do something, and the guy says, "Well, take this 2x6." And I said, "How can I take that? My hands are hanging on, my feet are hanging on." And he said, "Why don't you get down?" I said, "Best news I've had all day."
So it was like, you say stage, and it's like...
There's this metal stage you hook together.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it goes up a lot. It goes up.
Like scaffolding.
Way high. I don't like heights.
I know.
Now, I fly, but I get that bubble around me.
Yeah. That's so funny. I don't like that either. I've had to climb that too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Can you tell me your grandparents' names and what they were like?
Jesse, what was his wife's name? I can picture her.
Yeah, that's good. Your grandmother's name was Jessie?
No, my grandfather's name
Grandfather.
was Jesse. Grandfather, yeah. What was her name? Grammy.
That's good enough. That's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we always call her. I can't think of her real name.
What about your other grandparents?
I remember just one thing about my mother's parents. They stayed with us one night, and she stayed with us and slept with us kids, you know. She had dark hair, beautiful woman. She came from England.
Really?
Yeah, she was English, very English. That's the only time I remember her.
Really?
Yeah.
It's funny because I did my 23andMe, which talks about where you're from, and a huge part of my blood comes from England. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about your father's parents? So do you have any significant memories?
What now?
Your grandparents, on your father's side, do you have any really good memories of them, doing stuff with them?
Oh, yeah, I remember he got a tractor, farm-all tractor, way back. And he was kind of timid to take it off what they had brought back in, you know. So the other guy drove it off. And it didn't have rubber tires in the back, it had those spokes.
Yeah.
You know. It had the small front wheels.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they changed it over shortly after that to the wide ones, or give it more stability. Yeah.
And, okay, you got some photos. Okay, cool. I'll take photos of this. Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. I'll take a photo of this when I'm all done.
Okay.
Thank you, Ruth. All right, so you grew up in Bath?
Yep, from 8 years on, went to Bath High School, and I went in the service from there. I went in the Army.
What was your childhood like? What do you remember from growing up as a kid?
Growing up? Oh, just like kids, you know,
Yeah.
around Bath. That was when we were with the war with Japan
Yeah, World War II
and World War II, yeah. And
in the 40s.
yeah, I remember that. But I don't remember. I didn't play games. I loved basketball, but I was too small to play basketball. But I loved it. I just loved that game.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I loved that game. And football was too small. Well, what it was, when I went to school, I went to kindergarten. And all kids went to kindergarten. I didn't go. I was from Canaan. They didn't have that then. So I was younger. I was 2 years younger going through school than everybody else.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And that's why I was so small.
Oh.
That the guys that big guys were like you,
Right.
you know, and I'm a little kid.
So, how old were you when you graduated high school?
I was 17,
17?
16 or 17, right through there.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's really young. I graduated when I was 19 because I was older. And so, no, I didn't know that you liked basketball.
Yep.
That's great. That's awesome. All right, so this leads into, during your lifetime, what are some major events? Like historical events that happened during your lifetime that you really remember?
Oh, there are things that may come to me. I went to service from there. I was in the service for, because I was in the National Guard. I went in to the service during the Korean War, but they never took us. I was available, but they had what they needed over there. You know?
So the Korean War was after Vietnam.
Yeah.
How did you not be part? How were you not part of Vietnam?
They didn't want us.
Really?
Yeah, they had enough. They had a lot of people over there.
But there was
a lot of people. But we were available to go, but they didn't need us. We stayed stateside.
And that was when you were in the Army?
Yep.
Or the National Guard?
Well, National Guard.
So that's where you kind of got lucky, right?
Right.
You were part of the National Guard.
Yeah.
So you stayed home for
Yep.
home defense, right?
Yeah. But we were available to go,
Right.
but they didn't need us.
Did a lot of your friends go to Vietnam?
Oh yeah, a lot of them, a lot of the other people went. Yeah.
And that's amazing that you didn't have to go. Do you remember people going to World War II, like when you were a kid?
No, that was before my time.
Really? Like, no, I'm talking like you were a kid during the 40s, right?
Yeah. No, I don't remember anything.
You don't remember that?
No. No, I don't.
So Vietnam, and then the
Korean War.
Korean War.
Yeah. And a lot of my friends went to Korea, but they didn't ask for us. We were in the group, you know. What were we? Oh, I know why. We were in artillery.
Artillery?
Artillery. Anti-aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't an air war. They didn't fight with airplanes.
Oh, okay.
That's why I didn't go.
Okay.
Yeah, I just remember that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's perfect, Grant. You're doing great. What are some of the happiest moments of your life?
Oh. Right there.
Right, Ruthie. Of course, I knew you were going to say that.
No,
Which is a good answer.
no,
And of course, when I was born.
we met down here in Whispering Palms, and can't remember from there. She lived across from my sister, and my younger sister and I came down and stayed with her, and she was across the street. So we met, we played cards together. They wanted, they liked to play cards down there, Dirty Dog.
Right.
And
Of course.
yeah, and so they got her for a partner for me. That's how it started out.
Nice. That's a good answer. That's a good story. And then you guys went to, like, on a cruise or Alaska or something, right? Like, shortly?
Yeah, we went, when was
You're
that?
loved on.
Oh, we went through the canal, Suez Canal.
Oh yeah, we went through that too. How do we? Yeah, we went all the way through. And I think we were the last ones to do that. They took the boat and went all through the canal. And you pass the mountain. It was very, very small down there when we went through there.
Yeah.
And
Not the Suez, the Panama
The
Canal.
Panama, yeah.
I'm sorry.
I figured that's probably what we were talking
Yeah,
about. But
yeah.
that's amazing. That's through the channels and stuff.
yeah, oh yeah.
Through that in Germany.
They run those boats through there, and the U.S. did it on the water. There was no pumped water. It was all gravity.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, it's amazing.
And the French couldn't do it. We did it.
Important to know. All right, I'm asking you a little more about your career. So, what was your first job?
Milkman.
You were a milkman.
I was a milkman.
Oh man,
Yeah. And
what was that like?
that was with the Oakhurst Dairy.
With Okers.
Yeah.
I love Okers.
It was a job.
Yeah.
I was very young. I can't remember what my age was, but I went from there.
Like six
To,
pack.
to six to well, no, we had the glass bottles and
Yeah.
carried the glass bottle. And I went from there to Sears Roebuck, and I worked in the garage there for a while. Then I went downstairs and worked in automotive. That was in Bath.
That was in Bath.
From there, I know while I was there, I went to school down in Texas for the National Guard. In El Paso. Yeah.
What made you decide that you wanted to fly, of all things?
Well, I had friends that were in the service, and I think it was Albert White, and he asked me to come up, so I did, and then I had to go to school. Went to school down in Texas, and I learned to fly the helicopter. We were helicopter and fixed wing.
Yeah.
But I started right off in helicopter
Did you ever fly fixed wing?
with somebody else.
With somebody else?
Yeah, I flew. There was nothing to fly it. The thing was to land it and take it off, and I didn't do that. We flew from point A to point B down someplace. We were ferrying it down for some work to be done in the aircraft.
Yeah.
And I just flew down as a co-pilot.
That's cool. I didn't know. So you must have had a little bit of daredevil in you when you were a kid.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
I mean,
I enjoy doing different things.
right. I mean, you'd have to like be like, oh, I'm gonna learn how to fly a plane. Like, to me, that seems scary, So that's really cool, Greg.
As long as I had that bubble around me, I was okay.
That's so funny because, like, I see through that bubble. That scares me.
Well, I remember I took you up as a kid.
Yes, I remember.
From,
Tell that story. Go ahead.
Remember, I started off and you grabbed me right around the chest.
Yeah.
And he just pointed down. He didn't talk. I said, okay, but I gotta make the loop around. So I did, made the loop around, came in and landed.
That was in Hamden. That was in Hamden. That was in Hamden?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's, he had a nice big house there.
Yeah. Not the Victorian, it was the other one.
Yeah,
And I remember I could see through the floor. And I didn't like that. You know?
yeah, there's a space down there.
Yeah. Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
I'll never forget.
Just you have to, it's good to see all you can, you know, especially when other aircraft flying around. Yeah, I remember that.
I do too. I was terrified. In your career, what accomplishments are you most proud of?
Korea?
Yeah, in your career, what are some of the accomplishments that you're most proud of?
I'm trying to think. What did I do? What did I do that was good?
I'm sure there's a lot.
What about your flights didn't you take a baby down to the hospital?
Oh yeah, well we did a lot of flights like that. It had to be life or death to take a civilian down in a military aircraft at that time. And we took a lot of babies that had some problem breathing, and that was very common back then. Down to Portland, and sometimes we had to fly them down to Boston, down to Children's Hospital.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we landed right on the side of the river there. I can't think of the name of the river now.
What kind of helicopter was it?
Huey.
It was a Huey.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So that must have been kind of like
And
fun.
we take a doctor sometimes, a doctor and a nurse, and we land right on, there was a helipad, a city helipad, right by the river. And it was right close to the Children's Hospital. And when we first started, we landed at the airport. And then they had to go all the way across town to the hospital. So it was quicker the way we did it.
How fast would you be going in those helicopters?
Oh, it's just 130. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, so now I'm gonna move into like advice and life lessons. I know this is a big question, but what's one of the most important lessons you've learned in your life?
One of the most important lessons,
Yep.
I guess, probably to be truthful. You know, tell the truth, no matter what.
That's a good one. You found it's good to be transparent and truthful. All right, what do you think is key to be happy in your life?
Oh, what?
What is something that you do, or what is key to being happy?
Seem to be happy?
Yeah.
Oh, quite a few things, probably. Things that my kids accomplished. And the things we did. We've done quite a lot. We've been to Canada a few times.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. And, oh, I don't know what else.
So just traveling has made you happy.
Yeah, we travel quite a lot.
So the world's always changing, and you've lived basically 100 years. So, what is the most significant changes that you've seen as you've grown up? Like, as a kid to today? I know there's literally thousands, but what are the ones that are like still very surprising to you?
Oh, I don't really know. I can't think of it now.
That's fine. How about, do you have any like funny or memorable stories about your family growing up?
Oh, I'm sure I did. I know when John was he was my wife's favorite, and then Steph was born, and she cut John's nose right off. You know, she took the limelight.
Who's Stephanie?
Stephanie did, yeah, oh yeah, and in John's eyes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he'd come out and walk like a soldier, you know, like a.
As a kid?
Yeah, as a kid. Yeah, he wanted to get our attention because it was going to Steph.
I thought John was the youngest.
Pardon?
I thought John was the youngest.
Steph is.
Steph's the youngest?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, she was a cute little thing.
what else can you tell me about Steph?
Yeah, she had curly hair, you know.
No, or she did?
Yeah,
Like blonde, curly hair?
yeah,
Like Porter.
yeah, that's right.
So that's where he got the curls from.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, she was a doll. And one thing she had to have, so she was just a small one. The wife left the oven door down, and she came over and put her hands on the oven door, bent the hands.
Yeah. That happens.
Oh yeah, and we took her down to the doctor's, and the same thing had happened to one of his kids.
Really?
Yeah. Can you imagine that? A hot oven, put your hands on it.
No, I can't.
She was just a little bugger. I was a little mad.
What are some of your hopes for your family for the future? You have a pretty big family now.
My family?
Yeah.
Well, like you, I hope you find some way to get better with your wife.
Yeah, that's
You know, I like to see you. You know, I had good hopes in you.
yeah.
I mean, you had a nice job, and the kids are fun. I know we had fun with the kids when we brought them over.
Yeah.
I like family. I think a lot of the family. And Steph and Harry, I'd like to see them change a little bit and be more, you know, a father and mother, you know.
Right.
But, yeah. And Ruth, we always got along good with them.
Yeah.
You know, we had a little conflict with words, and we told you about that, about asking, what was it? What
It's
was
not.
that?
It doesn't matter. But what about Ed and his kids? And what do you?
Oh,
hope for them?
he's got some nice kids.
Yeah.
He's got some good kids. I don't believe in all he does, but and he's got a nice wife. Sandy's a nice lady. But that's a little strange, to say the least. And Andy, he never calls.
Right.
So he never calls, so I don't call him.
Right. I understand.
You know, and that's not good. I wish it would straighten out, but I don't think it ever will. He's got a nice wife.
Well, maybe you could give him a call.
Well, I did a long time ago. And we stopped over there one time. He wouldn't even invite us to have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
why should I bother with them?
Right. What about Ed's kids? What do you hope for their futures?
That's kids, they're doing good. I think all of them, I know. The one that was down there, what was his name?
Amos.
Amos is really good. He got a nice wife. Little skinny girl,
Right.
but they get along good. And well, you have good hopes for all of them, you know.
And what about John and his daughters?
Don't see them. Now, once in a while, his oldest one, Jamie, will call and ask how we are.
Yeah.
But they're up there in Maine, we're down here.
Yeah.
And John calls. John calls a lot.
Does he?
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it tells us what's going on. And he loves to fish and hunt.
Yeah, of course.
So, you still got your license, don't you?
Of course, yeah. I'm going to use it.
Oh, when you get older, it's good forever.
Yeah, I'm going to take the
Yeah.
kids hunting and fishing.
So you could probably get together with John and do some stuff.
I
later
think
on.
our tactics would
Yeah.
probably be a little bit
Yeah.
different, but that's a
Yeah.
good idea.
Yeah.
All right, so last question is, what do you hope people remember about you, Graham?
About what?
About you? Well, what do you hope people, when they think about you, what do they think of?
Well, I was a good father.
That you were a good father?
Yeah.
I think you were.
I think mostly I was. Sometimes there was things I shouldn't have done, but as you look back, you know. But I loved all my kids. I still do. I mean, even though Randy's like he is, still love him,
Of course.
you know.
Well, when I look back in a time, in an era, you know, men are much more gentle and kind, but back in the 90s, you know, men had to be like this,
Oh, yeah.
this force, right? This masculinity or whatever like that. And I've always been kind to people, and I think I got my kindness from you because you were so kind to me, taking me fishing all the time. And honestly, when I have this interview in 60 years, that's what I'm gonna remember.
Yeah.
Is when I was a kid, going fishing. all
Oh
the
yeah,
time
I remember going down there. You get tired with the fish weren't biting. You get up and walk right down in the water, pick up shells. And then, yeah, I remember a kid down there. And he looked and he was down there walking out. I don't know if he thought you were going to walk across the ocean or what.
Yeah, I know. I used to. That was fun. That was in Castine, right?
Yeah, in that area. Yeah,
Which is funny.
it was down there where you went to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because when I look back at Maine, I don't consider like the Bangor, Hamden area my home. I consider that Castine area my home
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's where I was.
We went down there a lot.
I know.
We had a lot of fun down there.
No, that was good. I appreciate it. Is there anything else you want to tell me or mention? We have 1 minute left.
I remember you over the house, and you were across and playing with the kids over there, Jane's grandkids.
Yeah.
You came running in the house. You had those bees under your T-shirt.
They were yellow jackets.
Yellow jackets, right?
Yeah.
And
Remember.
you were running around. I said, hold still, I'll get this out. You wouldn't hold still.
Yeah.
You finally got your shirt off. And then about 6 or 7 just flew off.
I know. I know. Yeah, that hurt.
Oh,
I was
those,
crying.
those buggers stink.
Oh, I know. I know. They
I
do.
know you know.
So, all right, Graham. That's it.
Okay, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Okay.